What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. It's time for another episode of 7 on Sunday. I'm going to be seeing BLINK-182 live very soon. This is the second time, obviously the first time with Matt Skiba instead of Tom DeLonge, but here's the thing, Tom sucked whenever I saw them live. So, good riddance. Hello, Matt Skiba. Can't wait to see you guys live alongside All Time Low and A Day to Remember. Today I'm going to be talking about 7 criminally underrated songs from BLINK-182. A lot of people don't know about these tracks, maybe you're just a casual fan, and I'm not judging you if you are. But I myself, being pretty much a, I don't know, maybe like a hardcore fan, maybe at this point, maybe we might say that, I don't know, maybe I have a slight problem with buying BLINK-182 colored vinyl, I don't know, you can decide for yourself, but these are 7 songs that I have selected. I'm not saying that these are the only underrated tracks that they have. Obviously that's not the case, there's a ton in their discography, but these are ones that I picked just from all throughout their career. I didn't pick any from California because this record just came out. I don't feel like everybody's had a chance to maybe check everything out, so I can't say that any of these songs are underrated, at least as of yet. I'm gonna give people a shot to get into the record. These are 7 songs, none from the same project, that I picked all throughout their career that represent, I feel like, different sides of them, maybe stuff that you might not expect from Blink, and just stuff that gets overlooked, even though some of them might still get some love from the hardcore fans. I hope you enjoy this video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more like this, and of course if you're curious on how to help the videos keep coming, you can find my Patreon linked in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoy today's countdown.
I wish it didn't have to be so bad, but I cleared the fire to break the ice, and I blamed the nuclear device. It's just something I'll regret. We're doing what I can't get. I wish it didn't have to be so bad.
I've been a big BLINK-182 fan for quite a while. This was the first ever BLINK-182 shirt that I owned right here. I think this was purchased in 2010, right after around the time whenever I turned 18 and could start kind of making my own decisions because I wasn't allowed to own band shirts or really their merch at all, or even technically the CDs or anything growing up. I started making my own decisions. I remember buying Enema of the State, finally getting into the full-length record around like 2009, 2010 I think it was, and I really started to love tracks like Wendy Clear because it represents kind of the fast-paced, punkier side of BLINK-182. Mark Hoppus leads on this track. You gotta appreciate the ones that he takes control on. I love his vocal style, and not to knock Tom DeLonge because obviously some of the tracks on this list are gonna be from him as well, and he has a great vision whenever it comes to some of these tracks, but obviously Wendy Clear being led by him, and it's actually about Mark's boat. At least that's what it was named after, and kind of like being in the water, and I don't know. It talks about a relationship that is meant to not be, more than likely. It's probably gonna tear you both apart, gonna be terrible for you in the long run, but you're just like, fuck it, let's play with the match, let's get burned anyways. And it's just such a fun, upbeat song, disguised in a way because there's kind of a twist to it, and it makes it a really fun song. I'm hoping they play it live whenever I see them. They do play it from time to time still, and I know that maybe that makes it not so overrated, but I feel like people don't really sing along or know it that well whenever they do play it, so I definitely recommend checking this one out.
Mom, get in the car and let's drive away. She said, I'm sorry, Mark, but there's nowhere to stay. Gave up all her hope and went back inside. Hit her broken heart and let the engine die. Go!
The Untitled record definitely deserves more praise than it gets. There's so many darker tracks on here, things that saw BLINK-182 keeping their sound at its core, but playing with it, toying with it, adding in extra things, and you could see that all the way from Feeling This to Violence, and then of course on tracks like this, my number 6 pick, Go. On this track, we take a step back in time to 1983 with Mark Hoppus, who handles the primary vocal leads on this track. Tom DeLonge comes in on the chorus, but we'll get to that in just a second. It's a track that really just sees Hoppus dealing with like his mother's relationship, probably an abusive relationship, something she was trying to escape, maybe a boyfriend or maybe an ex-husband or something like this, obviously at this point, and Mark Hoppus just feeling scared, not really knowing what to do. And it's such a quick song, it packs such a punch in under 2 minutes. It's kind of crazy. Tom DeLonge comes in and kills it with the goes. I love that. It just brings that much more urgency because you're shouting, go, go, go. Basically like, get out of here. We can't stay here anymore. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we have to get away from this abusive relationship, and it's so good. It sounds a little bit upbeat, and its presentation, there's kind of like a punk-leaning feel with the guitars and the building drums that crank up from Travis Barker, but whenever you pay attention to the lyrical content, you're like, oh shit, this is so serious and scary.
Walk right through the door, they keep on coming back. I guess they just want more, yes, fun at you. Might call him a whore, but just
My next choice is Touchdown Boy off of the 1994 record Cheshire Cat. This is definitely Blink's early days right here, and it's so cool to have this splattered pressing of it. Touchdown Boy, yeah, I'm probably going to have to go spin this album right after I finish filming here. Touchdown Boy sees Tom DeLonge kind of telling this story from an outsider's point of view, looking in at like this popular dude who's like fucking everyone, every girl that walks by, in and out. He's like, damn, how is he pulling so many girls in? Basically, this guy's a man whore, nobody says anything about it, but they kind of flip the tables, especially whenever Mark and Tom start doing like the kind of like fake sports commentary. They're talking and they're just like, oh yeah, this is happening exactly, oh he's gonna score, and they're using that as kind of euphemism to like relate it to sports, obviously the title being Touchdown Boy here. And this track is kind of like talking about problems that they see with that, not being that mature at this point. Obviously they make a lot of songs that are very immature at this point in their career, and you know, joke songs, that sort of thing. Not that I look down on them for that, but you see a moment of like kind of shining brightness here, and you're just like, huh, were they talking about equality here, and like kind of how the tables were flipped? Basically, if a girl is caught sleeping with a lot of guys, she's called a whore, but this dude is getting like fist pounded, and you're like, yeah bro, if he sleeps with all the girls, and they're just like, is that so right? And then they just kind of dismiss it at the end of the track. But what I love about this song is not only that, but obviously the build here. Over a minute of an instrumental. Scott Rayner, their original drummer, is pounding away so furiously, and the guitars are infectious as hell. So catchy, so punk rock driven, and I love that about this early Blink at its best. Number 4 comes from an album, Neighborhoods, that took me a while to get into. As a Blink-182 fan, I feel like I was being very close-minded whenever it first came out, but I grew to love it once I accepted that this was just Blink in their current state. They were maturing, they were doing different things, and this is one of the only albums by Blink that I don't have on vinyl. I'm gonna plan on picking that up very, very soon. I already got a copy of Enema on the way. A lot of people are probably gonna disagree with me on this track, but Fighting the Gravity sounds like a phenomenal song to me. I love everything about this track, but it didn't even take that long to settle in. This actually started off as kind of a favorite for me, and it grew on me more and more with time. It starts off with this loud kind of like buzzing. It's growing, and like Hoppus is repeating the phrase, like obviously this makes no sense really rapidly. And then we see like kind of like a buzzing in your ears. You can't shake it. It's almost like you're going insane as the song grows louder and louder before finally plowing into like Mark's stable vocal performance, and it just really carries it throughout the entire song. There's this dark, ominous feel to the track, and it's incredible.
One more point of contention, I need some intervention. Approach with vague intentions, betray my short attention. Span the distance, bridge the border, beg forgiveness, round the corner. Every time I look for you, the sun goes down, and I stumble when this whole thing runs aground.
Number 3 comes from my favorite Blink-182 album to date, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. 2001, such a good year in music, especially for the pop-punk community, and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket just had so many fantastic songs on it. In fact, there's not a song here that I dislike. This is one that I don't hear getting talked about very often, at least. Every Time I Look For You. It's such a phenomenal song that sees Mark and Travis kind of going back and forth. It's like they're answering each other's statements at some points in the track, but it's mainly Mark Hoppus on this track that I see really driving the song. And obviously the chorus is so catchy, so much summer fun, but at the same time it's talking about like this girl that kind of disappears every time the sun goes down. Basically a euphemism for saying like, you're never here whenever I need you. You're here whenever it's convenient. And I love the kind of fast-paced, upbeat feel and how they're able to contrast that once again with a little bit of a darker theme. They feel a little bit down, but they're able to cheer themselves up with, I feel like, some of the lyrical content that comes across, and of course the vibe of the song.
Am I strung out, crazy, or not allowed to be the one who gets stupid over you? Lazy, laid back, maybe you're just on crack. Why am I the one who gets fucked up and confused?
Getting close to the top, we have Enthused, clocking in at number 2. This is a track off of their 1997 album, The Final, with their original drummer Scott Rayner, Dude Ranch. This track is all about kind of like a mental breakdown after a relationship is ending, or maybe something didn't work out the way they wanted to, but the main thing that I focus on with this track is just the instrumentation. It's just so fast-paced, especially once that guitar cuts in. It's got a really fast-paced punk rock leaning opening that carries on for a while before it transitions into a really smooth guitar part that I really like. You can just pick out each note, and I love that whenever they have songs like this. The lyrics are so whiny in a way, but at the same time it's kind of endearing because you think back, like, these guys are like in their 40s now and we're looking back at it now. This was like a great song at the time and I still think it's great, but at the same time you're like, can you picture them actually playing this live now?
The only hope is burning down the chapel, all getting washed out with the tide. We need to find some middle ground. It's always sex or suicide. Dogs eating dogs, dogs eating dogs, dogs eating dogs.
Number 1 comes from a very solid EP that I never hear anybody talking about. It's like they put out like a ban on it. Nobody can talk about Dogs Eating Dogs EP, and the title track is the one that I'm calling out today as my number 1 underrated pick. This is once again a Mark Hoppus-led track, and it's talking about just how vicious the world can be. Obviously, the euphemism here being dogs eating dogs. We're tearing each other apart, basically. We're so ruthless. This EP came out in 2012, and I just remember loving this track right off the bat. I love Boxing Day as well, even parts of Pretty Little Girl, and obviously the fantastic opening track, When I Was Young. Just a really solid EP. In fact, I need to give that some more attention as well. Dogs Eating Dogs from an instrumental point of view takes us back to like Blink's earlier days. It's fast-paced and vicious once again, and it matches the intensity of the lyrical content here, and I feel like once again it gets overlooked in their discography. I feel like if you've never checked out this EP, like a lot of people haven't, you should probably get on that. I'll link to it in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 7 underrated Blink-182 songs, and of course let me know some of your underrated picks that maybe I didn't mention in this video, or maybe some of the ones that you agreed with in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course if you would like to watch more 7 on Sunday, there's a playlist linked in the description, or you can check out the last episode by clicking the little annotation along with the last album review that I did from Blink-182 by clicking those little annotations directly below me. Thanks for watching, supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.